Thank you.
Alrighty, thank you everybody again for joining. So today we are going to talk about cleaning up our makeup bags. So again, as we're going through this, if you have any questions, be sure to write them down and we will answer any questions that you have about skincare or makeup at the end. So a lot of people are working on their immune system right now. They are trying to eat healthy. They're trying to make sure they get a lot of vitamin C with everything that's going on. But a really important part of our immune system is detoxing every area of our life. So we have to ask the question, what about our makeup? So sharing information that some people may not have thought of some of the different chemicals that we need to avoid, and really all of our personal care products. We're going to see these come up even in our lotion and our skincare and our makeup as well. So here are some common things that are found in makeup, and again, as well as skincare, soap, things of that nature that we want to avoid. Parabens, phthalates, lead, talc, formaldehyde, which is a preservative, and you can see all the other long little names that can come up. PG compounds, BHT, BHA, phenacetin nanoparticles, and benzene. So how are we going to know if this is in our makeup or skincare? So there is a website called Environmental Working Group. So you can Google that, or it's just ewg.org. And you can put in your soap, your lotion, or you can put in the ingredients if it doesn't show up, but they have thousands and thousands in there, and it will actually give you a toxicity level and what it's doing to you. So it'll tell you if it possibly has endocrine disruptors. It will tell you if it causes allergies, things of that nature. And that's the reason why it's so important, because they're skin penetrating chemicals. And one of the major things that can be found, again, this has to do with men's products or lotions, but definitely makeup. They have a lot of endocrine disrupting chemicals. So these are compounds. They can be natural or synthetic, which through environmental or inappropriate developmental exposures alters the hormonal and homeostatic systems that enable the organism to communicate with and respond to the environment. So there's been some studies where there've been a lot of just different products that have been dumped into certain rivers and areas, and it will actually gender bend those animals. Like frogs and fish will change their gender after being exposed to this on a regular basis. So that's how it affects our reproductive systems and endocrine systems. So when we think about people having hormone issues, this is a huge part of the reason and why it's so important for us to get rid of it. And the reason is because there's bioaccumulation. So we actually talked about this earlier in the month when we talked about why we want to get our cleaning products without toxins. So when we look at this picture, we see if we got toxins in our perfume, shampoo, we're doing a fake tan, deodorant, lotion, nail polish, lipstick, sunscreen, foundation, blush, eyeshadow, and hairspray, eventually it can be too much for our body. It can overload our body. It becomes a buildup, and that's when we start to see some types of reactions. It can be minor, like just a skin reaction. Like I've heard people say, I was fine, and then all of a sudden I can't use normal deodorant. Or it can be something like an actual hormone issue that pops up. Or it could be something as devastating really as cancer. So one documentary I've been recommending to everyone when we talk about these subjects is the documentary, which is free on Netflix, Stink. So just Stink with an exclamation point. And it is a journey that a father took when he got some pajamas for his girls, and they smelled very chemically, and he wanted to know what chemicals they were in, and it sent him on this investigation of all the chemicals that can be in different products that we're buying. So we want to put our best face forward, but we want to make sure that we have good things for her. So what are mineral makeup in general? So minerals are micronized, ground, and milled into superfine particles that create makeup. They have iron oxide, zinc oxide, and titanium dioxide, but no synthetic fragrances, fillers, artificial preservatives, or dyes. And Savvy Minerals in general is infused with Young Living essential oils, aspen bark extract, mica, high-quality minerals, naturally derived ingredients, non-nano ingredients. It's never tested on animals, and you will not find gluten. So there's some people that's really important. It has to be gluten-free. There's no soy. There's no mineral oil, no petrochemicals, no talc, no parabens, no nanoparticles, no phthalates, no bismuth, no synthetic dyes, and no synthetic fragrance. So it's cruelty-free, never tested on animals. Again, not formulated with nanoparticles, mineral-based ingredients, long-lasting all-day wear, and primarily vegan outside of the lipsticks that contain beeswax. So our first step is to practice proper skincare. So remove makeup every evening by cleansing, toning, and moisturizing. Every day, we are exposed to environmental toxins that cause free radical damage and bacteria that can clog pores and increase their size. So you want to use light pressure upward and outward circular motions when we have our actual in-person spa parties. Dana's always reminding everyone of this. And don't forget your, how do you say that word, Dana? And that's like right here, right? Talk about right here?
Yeah, décolletage.
Décolletage, okay. Exfoliate 2 to 3 times a week, removing the dead skin cells. So just in general, if you just have normal skin, then you know you can get our ART system. And then we have our satin facial mint scrub. This is the old version here. And then if that's a little bit too harsh, you can use our charcoal bar soap as an exfoliator. So again, just more details on the ART Gentle Cleanser, and then our toner. This is our general ones, have things like frankincense, sandalwood, lemon, melissa, and lavender in them. And then the toner has peppermint, frankincense, lavender, aloe vera, melissa leaf, green tea, and lemon. And then after that, we're going to use, we're going to make sure that our skin is primed. So we have our ART Renewal Serum. This can be used as a primer. So a lot of times if you're doing your makeup right after you do your skincare routine, you can do that right after you put that on. Sur Lume is also very good moisturizer, can be used as a primer. And we now actually have primers if perhaps you're not doing your makeup right after your skincare routine. Some people do their skincare routine, they get dressed, they have breakfast, and then they put their makeup on. Then you're going to definitely, or you're putting it on later in the day. Like me, I just put it on before I go to the meeting or something. Then you're going to use a primer. And then after you hydrate, make sure your skin is primed. You want to make sure that you have great brushes. So if you don't already have them, we have our amazing Savvy Mineral brushes. So those have all that you need. So they're designed to hold optimal amount of product in best application, made from high quality synthetic fibers from Italy. They're soft on the skin, dermatologist tested in hypoallergenic bristles, easy to clean bristles that dry quickly. They are vegan friendly, and they're labeled so you know exactly what to use for what. So like this particular one is my bronzer. So it tells you exactly what you need to use it for. And Dana, how do you feel about these brushes?
Sorry, I didn't realize the thing wasn't a touch screen. I was pressing it on the thing. These honestly are some of the most amazing brushes. I've been able to use brushes from brands like Bobbi Brown, MAC, and especially even from the price point. Sometimes I'll hear people make comments that, oh, some of Young Living's products are expensive, but I'm like, well, maybe you haven't gone to like most makeup counters, because in a retrospect, they're actually way cheaper, and the quality is so much better. I have some brushes that are high quality and the bristles start falling out. And then also keeping in mind that it is vegan friendly and it's not animals. So a lot of brushes also, you know, they make them from animals.
All right, so then in order to apply it, we have our thieves to make sure we're cleaning our brushes, what we usually need to do when we're having our in-party spa parties. And then we use our misting spray, or you can actually use some of the moisturizers, whichever works better for you, to mix with the mineral makeup. So the misting spray provides more control. It nourishes your skin with pure essential oils like bergamot, copaiba, cedarwood, black spruce, orange, lime, vanilla, sage, ocote, and rose. It soothes and refreshes your skin. It's 100% derived from plant-based ingredients, vegan friendly, formulated without alcohol, parabens, phthalates, petrochemicals, synthetic fragrances, or synthetic colorants. And then these are just some before and after pictures that were in the presentation. So there's something for everyone. And now we get into some tips of actually how to apply it. So these tips actually come from, we have a brochure that you can order that has all of these tips in it. So this is how to apply a flawless eye. So from the eyelid, from your lash line to the highlight area just below your brow, as we can see in the picture. Then you're gonna do your crease to line the outer corner, your darkest shade, which can be any shade darker than your overall color. Then you want to highlight as shown in 3, and then blend using the blending brush. So on this model here, we have spoiled, unscripted, and best kept secret. And then if you want to maximize it, rich shades have a high payoff and are buildable color. It does blend very well. It will last all day. It's ideal for sensitive skin. I actually have a really sensitive skin, and it's the reason why I don't wear makeup every day, is because usually most makeup would make me want to scratch my face off. So I never got used to wearing it all day, every day. And you can apply it both dry and wet. And then here there are details on how to foil our eyeshadow. So if you want to do that, you would spray with the misting spray so that it's wet. You're going to tap the desired color, pick up the minerals with the wet brush, apply to the eyelid area, and use the blending brush to smooth out the area. And then here we can also see some of the colors that we have: Wanderlust, Residual, Best Kept Secret, Crushing, Spoiled, Overboard, Unscripted, Determined, Diffuse, Freedom, Inspired, and Envy. And this was made when we had our one palette. We now have more palettes, which make me so happy because we actually have blues in our palette. I was waiting for like 2 years before they all came out. So now we have palettes that look like this as well. So we have, when it comes to eyeshadow, we have tons and tons and tons of choices to use. Pretty much everything that we need now, which is super, super nice. But this is just how the newer palettes look. And then eyeliner. So we have all types of eyeliners. We have our Jet Setter, which is the black, which is what I usually use. And then we have all types of multitaskers. So we have different shades of browns that can be used. So this is our dark multitasker. And then we have a brush that helps you put it on. And then just some tips: apply using a dry brush for a smoky eye, apply using a misted brush for a precise liquid liner look, which is what I usually do. And then if you have closed set eyes, you can start at the inner corner of your iris and then apply a thin line to the waterline and gradually make it thicker as it approaches the corner of your eye. If you have wide set eyes, begin the line at your tear duct and don't extend past the outer corner of your eye. And then this is a guide. Again, this is in our little brochure that we have of how to line your eyes based on your eye shape. So I definitely do exactly what this says for almond eyes. That's the way I always do mine. And I usually like to have my little winged liner when I do it. For round eyes, line the outer edge of your upper lash line for a classic winged liner look. Small eyes, you're going to use white or nude on your waterline. Big eyes, you're going to line both your top and bottom. Monolid eyes, you're going to start with a thin line in the inner corner and make it thicker as you go. And hooded eyes, apply the liner as close to as you can to the waterline, beginning at the inner corner, and make the line thicker as it approaches the outer corner. Then we also have our mascara now. So it's infused with lavender essential oil, naturally derived ingredients. We know it has no synthetics and not tested on animals. And then when it comes to our base, spraying our foundation brush 2 to 3 times with the misting spray. Tap a small amount of color onto the lid, swirl, tap the brush on the edge of the lid to remove any excess, and apply the powder to your face in circular motions, repeating steps 1 to 4 to build coverage. And then if you want to bake your foundation to get super coverage, they show that little pink tool there. I actually have like a little circular one, and I will use that on a regular basis just to like pat additional layers on. And I've seen that done at some events. And then you can contour if your skin tone allows with diamond dust. And then this is just, we have our in-person parties so that you can actually try them, but this is just a little bit of guidance if you're using the cools or the warms to figure out whether you're cool or warm. And then we have the dark shades. And then contouring. So Dana, you want to explain a little bit about contouring?
Sure, I would love to. So the biggest things to kind of remember, and don't look at my face right now because I do not have makeup on. Oh, you can't see my face? Oh, okay, great. The biggest thing about contouring and even highlighting to remember is think of the places like when you're in the mirror and how the light hits your face. So when you're looking at yourself in the mirror, nothing on your face, and you look at yourself, you'll notice that there's certain areas on the face that the light, it just looks a little bit brighter. So when you're contouring, this is going to be the shadow areas of the face, right? So if the light hits, usually the maybe tip of your nose is a little bit lighter. So what you want to do is contour around where that light would be. So that would be contouring. It's the shadow areas. Many times, and you can kind of see in these picture illustrations as well, everywhere you see some darkness, that it would be where the shadow part of what you want to be more bright. Generally under our eyes, well, I shouldn't say most of us, but some of us might have dark circles or it might be a little bit darker under there. So you want to contour around where you've lightened under the eyes, right? So that way it's going to emphasize that area and it's actually going to brighten up that whole eye area. The other big thing to remember is when you're contouring, you want to blend things in. I think sometimes when applying makeup, and especially with mineral makeup, because maybe the first time you're applying, you don't see very much, you want to just make sure it's blended very well, and so that you have a more natural look. So that's just a little bit on contouring to help you out.
All right, and then how to shape your brows. That's so you, Dana.
Sorry. So this is a really good one too, because everybody's brows are going to be a little bit different according to what your eyes look like, right? So sometimes you'll see, and especially it's kind of more trending, like the thicker eyebrows and things like that. But you still are going to kind of follow the same idea. So your brow should begin at the side of your nostril, and you can kind of see that first line over there where it's starting. And again, like I said, some people do it a little bit more exaggerated, but you can kind of tell, and you'd be like, oh, that does not look natural. It's because it's not shaped really according to their eye shape. It might be just maybe they're using a stencil or something like that. And then at the highest point is on the diagonal from the nostril to the center of the eye. So that's where you can see that second point. That's where the highest part of your eyebrow should be. And then your eyebrow should end at the corner of your eye area. And I love, because originally they only had the one multitasker, but I actually love that they now have the different shades. So for some people, depending on, you know, your skin tone and your hair color, because that's a big thing too, like, you know, maybe our hair might naturally be a certain color, but maybe that's not the color we have right now. So they do have other options. They have the light, the tan, the medium, and the dark. And you're just going to fill that in. And as mentioned with the brushes, they are labeled. So there is a brush specifically to fill in your eyebrows if you wanted to add just a little bit of more color to that area.
All right, and last one for you, Dana, about the veil.
Oh, yes. So the veil, this is amazing for anybody that skin complexion is not mine. No. So this actually is, I would kind of liken the veil to maybe like your finishing set. This is really going to seal everything in that you've done. And you only need a very, very little bit of this. And you're going to kind of focus this on like those areas that we talked kind of about more highlighting. They have the two different ones. They have the diamond dust and they have the matte. So depending on what type of finish you want would depend on which one you would use. So the diamond dust is going to give you a little bit of shimmer. So if you do kind of like the little shimmeriness, then you're going to like that one. But if you're like, I just want it kind of set, I just want it a little bit bright, you can use the matte one. But again, just remember, very, very little. And that brush, it's labeled veil, and that's the perfect one to use for that area. So it blurs the appearance of imperfections and blemishes, including fine lines and wrinkles, gives skin an airbrushed look, absorbs excess oil, minimizes the appearance of pores, and it prolongs the wear of foundation and other facial makeup. Works with all skin tones. I disagree on that, but offers long-lasting all-day wear. A little goes a long way. And I think I said that multiple times, but I just want to emphasize a little goes a long way. You don't want to apply that and use that and start looking like Casper the Ghost. Like this, to set everything in, like your finishing look, and make it polished.
Alrighty, so then we have our original lipsticks that we came out with. So these are actually lip glosses, but we have On a Whim, Daydream, Wish, Uptown Girl, Adore. I love Uptown Girl, actually. And we have a few more than these now, but these are what the lipsticks look like. So, and they're well used because we have them with the little sample thingies at our classes that we usually have here when we can get together in person. And then we now have a lip scrub. The lip scrub is awesome. Moisturizing, smooths and softens, adds a pop of shine, helps lips feel fuller. Our lipsticks, so here's some of the other brighter colors that I love, like Bedazzled, Mic Drop, Sweet Life, and then we also have It Girl, I Dare You, and Miss Congeniality. Made with natural ingredients. And then these are our cinnamon lipsticks. We got Icon, Posh, Muse, Siren, and Untamed. And these are not tested on animals. And I believe these are the ones that are also still vegan. These are actually vegan. So the other ones are made with beeswax. These ones are made with coconut oil and shea butter. And then they also have orange and peppermint in them. very velvety, and high naturally pigmented for a rich color. Then we have our lip glosses. I am a love lip gloss person, so I love all the lip glosses. So these are our lip glosses. So we got Headliner, Anchors Away, Abundant, Embrace, Journey, Maven. The key ingredients in these are olive oil, jojoba, esters, and peppermint. They add shine, sheer to medium coverage. They help lips appear more full, moisturize and soften lips, and natural ingredients again. And then this is just a recipe for do-it-yourself lavender makeup remover pads. So there's actually an article on the Young Living blog that you can get, and there may be a video as well too. So super easy if you don't have makeup remover, but we now have our makeup remover wipes that you can purchase as well. And then this is just what I usually use to remove my makeup and what I usually have at the parties. The Seedlings Baby Wipes work perfectly fine. So they are mild and gentle with cleansing botanicals and essential oils, soothing and non-drying. Cleanses the skin, leaves it moisturized and soft, vegan friendly, and dermatologist tested and hypoallergenic. And then for those that are not yet a part of the Young Living family, there's always 2 ways for them to order, as we all know, but I think everyone that's on here already is part of the Young Living family. And then I think they're reformulating the kits right now. And then of course, the best way to try the products is to order them on your Essential Rewards or your monthly wellness box. And then for those that don't yet, make sure you follow me on YouTube for tons of other videos, as well as my other, if you're into social media, my other social media sites. And then make sure you're following that Facebook page for upcoming events. So as everyone knows, we are in the process of reorganizing and restructuring a lot of our classes right now, being that we can't be with people in person. So I have a Facebook class, which is just a presentation like this with little interaction, just going through the presentation. That was scheduled for March, but I'm moving it up to March 31st just to get some education in that week. And then we're going to have our spring launch, our rallies on April 4th. Most of those will probably be some venue that's online as well as corporate sharing, I think, via Facebook online with us. Sunday, April 5th, we are going to do a very similar class like this, where everyone can come in, get some questions, and we share a little bit the history of perfume and some natural perfume recipes. So tune in again to another class just like the one we're having today on that. April 10th is, we had on the schedule that we would do our Disconnect to Reconnect, which is an in-person class that we combine the Aroma Freedom emotional release technique with mindful movement. It looks like right now spas are still supposed to be scheduled to be closed down through the end of that week. So we may not have an in-person class that week. So if so, we're trying to find a way to do that virtually, which is a good thing for everyone that's on this call, because some individuals aren't here in Michigan with us. So that just means they get to share with us more. And then Friday, April 17th, we will see if we can still have in-person classes by then. That'll probably be our Dearborn class, if that is the case. And then Sunday the 19th is our Zoom virtual spa party. So that one, we're gonna focus on skincare. If you don't have the skincare, we can send you some stuff. We do our little mass, we get together and we have fun for a self-care Sunday. So those are the things that we have upcoming, and that is the information that I want to share with everyone. With that, I will open it up to any questions. Most of the people in here are way better than I am about makeup, but if you guys have any specific questions about the skincare, about the makeup, I can give my opinions of what I've used, and Dana can give some additional details from her perspective as an esthetician.
I will just, Renee had already put in here a question, and so I was going to address that question. Oh, I don't like seeing me. Sorry guys. So she was talking about frankincense, and if you notice, Renee, a lot of the skincare products that were mentioned by Young Living do have frankincense in it. So frankincense is an amazing, amazing, amazing skin oil to use. So you can do a lot of your own like natural serums. You can add some frankincense in there. There's so many studies that have been done on how it helps to keep the skin youthful. I don't know how compliant I can be other than that it's just really good for your skin.
Skincare, actually, I don't think you have any issues. I think it literally says that frankincense is good for fine lines and wrinkles because that's not a medical condition. That's a normal thing that happens to everyone.
Okay, so it's great for wrinkles and fine lines. And I'm sorry, if anybody had anything else, I can.
Yeah, any other questions from anyone on the line? Or even if you need any tips or suggestions of how to do makeup parties or any questions about anything.
Tashina or Dana, when you were doing the presentation, I didn't see anything about the cleansing oil. Is that something that could be used too?
Yes, so that one is newer. That probably came out after this presentation was formulated. So definitely when we do our in-person parties, I will have everyone take their makeup off first with like the wipes, and then I will definitely have them do the cleansing oil before we actually start cleansing. So that is the cleansing oil I usually use at night because you're gonna have, so it's the double cleansing method that a lot of people in Asia have been doing. So I usually use that and then my normal cleanser at night, and I definitely use that if I have makeup on. I'll use that first and then the next cleanser.
Okay, and if somebody wants the kit, the makeup kit, do they pick their color when they choose that kit, or they have to call in?
So the makeup kits, and I don't know if they're available right now, they might be reformulating them. They are preset kits. So it's like there's only 4 foundations, and then there are some, whatever blush you get is the blush you get, whatever. So I really have not sold a lot of the makeup kits. Like I honestly would prefer somebody get the oil kit and then we build whatever they want for the makeup afterwards. Because it's just so specific. Like almost always they have to get, if they get a kit, they almost always have to get another foundation because there's only 4 foundations out of the 10 available.
And I will say, just to add to that though too, you always have the you can get the basic kit, which is what, $35, and then you can just customize and add whatever they want. So even to me personally, I wouldn't, none of the foundations that came in the preset kits were my foundation, so it just wouldn't even make sense for me to, if I was going to start with that. So I personally would, if I was on the other end, would have liked someone to just customize it for me, right? Because then I kind of feel a little special too, you know? So it's like, okay, well, this is your right foundation, and then maybe pick me out a lip gloss to go with it and a cute eyeshadow or something, you know, and just see what their price point is, because it might even come out better for them because they're like, oh, well, I actually want that, and that, you know, or whatever. So just customize it for them.
Yeah, when the basic kits are back in stock, because I think they're out of stock right now because they're trying to minimize the sale of the sanitizer. Because we was looking for it earlier today. Okay, Roxana, some tips specific to what do you want Dana to share?
Perfect. Well,
Oh, what are other additional oils for skins? Like if you're doing some like do-it-yourself recipes, Dana?
Okay, so first I would say I would need to know your skin type, but I'll just go ahead and tell you a few that I absolutely, absolutely love. Is there somebody not muted? I'm getting
I don't know. Hold on.
Tashina, can you mute people or no? Okay, okay, sorry. So a few oils that I absolutely love, and I'll just do it by skin type. Manuka is one of my favorite oils. Love, love, love Manuka. And a lot of your floral oils are really, really good. And I would say that would be for my drier skin, mature skin, or I want to prevent myself from maturing in my skin type oils. So I love neroli. Neroli is one of my favorite. Rose is an amazing one. Right now I have my little rose, but I haven't made a little serum for it, but it's amazing, amazing for the skin. But when you think like those floral oils, that's going to be really, really good when it comes to, again, slowing down that age process. Whereas now, like I would say, if you have a person that maybe they're younger and they're experiencing maybe breakouts or things going on with their skin, things like Melrose is really good. If you've seen that blend, I used to actually use that a lot in my services. I would make an Aztec clay and I would use Melrose in that. It's a great like detoxifying one. And it might have a little bit of a tingle, but it helps to pull everything out. Love, love, love lavender as well. One thing that a lot of times happens with people that maybe are getting breakouts and stuff is they are overstimulating things and they cause their skin to be more inflamed. So something like lavender, frankincense, because they're also going to kill like bacteria and things going on in the skin, they're going to soothe it as well. Which is super, super important with that skin type. So yeah, I don't know if that was helpful.
So Deb and Amanda, you guys just joined a little bit ago. So we did go over a presentation where we talked a little bit about skincare and makeup, and we are recording this, so you will have access to watch it from the beginning. But if there are any questions that you can think of that you've had from the experience already of using the skincare or the makeup, Dana's an esthetician, she's an expert on that, so you guys can feel free to ask any questions that you may have.
And I usually look better than this, so please don't judge me.
Okay, so I've been using the dry serum that Young Living has, but I feel I need, like for myself, and I have a lot of friends that have my skin tone, which is dry, and is there anything else that we can use, or can we mix that dry serum with something else from the oils?
From the oils specifically, or another, because if your skin is dry, what I would actually recommend is at nighttime, I would recommend the revitalizing serum, and I would do a heavier cream while you sleep.
Like
the Art Intensive.
Okay.
Because what's going to happen is while you're sleeping, all of that hydration and moisture is going to get deeper into your cells. Yeah, that one that she's holding up. And that's going to create during the day, you're not going to find your skin will be as dry.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
And that's actually what I do. So in the day, I usually use just the Art system, and then at night, and sometimes I'll use Charlemagne in the morning as well. But then at night, I do use, and I always use a serum. And at night, I will use usually like the intensive or the moisturizing at night. Hi, Mary. So we've gone through a lot of the information. So the replay will be available. I'll send you to you as soon as it's done. But if you had any specific questions about the skincare products you've already used or the makeup that you could think of, you can feel free to ask those now.
I have a question. What do we have that like comparable to Mary Kay's 3-in-1 or 4-in-1 cleanser?
I have no idea what Mary Kay's 4-in-1 is. I'm sorry. Can you?
Oh, it's a cleanser. It's a cleanser. It's anti-aging. It cleanses, it removes makeup like all in one, and it has like an anti-aging, I don't know, product inside of it. Do we have anything like that?
I wouldn't say we necessarily have an all-in-one like that. I would kind of need to also see the consistency of what it looks like and stuff too. And I'm weird where I'd be like, oh, well, what are the ingredients? And then I could kind of better say like, oh, this would be what would be comparable. But we definitely don't have like this one product that I would say does all of that. But depending on what the ingredients and stuff that are in there, I always say it wrong, the Mira, am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Okay, the Mira cleansing oil, if you look at some of the ingredients, more than likely it has like age-defying properties in it because, you know, Young Living adds all the essential oils and things like that. One thing that I found super, super interesting when like I first started using Young Living products when I had my spa and everything was that when you looked at a lot of the ingredients and the way that they put it together, not only did it like help the skin, but it actually was like good for your health, period, which is like completely opposite of most skincare in the years that I've been doing. So like it would be weird where it's like the cleanser has like wolfberries in it and sulfurzyme or MSM from sulfurzyme powder, and you're like, oh, I'm just putting on a moisturizer, but actually you're also getting some extra vitamins and minerals that your body needs, even though it's just a moisturizer on your face.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah,
that holistic approach. Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, and I would echo what Dana just said. So me personally, not being the skincare expert and being lazy sometimes, if I'm going to go to bed and I'm looking for a 3-in-1, then it's the Mira cleansing, right? Because it's going to take everything off. It's actually going to moisturize my face. And then what it has in it actually is penetrating, and it has some things that are age defying in it. So that's not what it's designed for, and it's not meant to be a 3-in-1, but because the essential oils do so many things, it can be, and that's the closest we would have. We don't have anything we would recommend you do at least all 4 steps before you go to bed. We don't have one that's designed exactly like that, but that would be the closest I would say.
Okay, thank you.
So Mary wanted to know what she can use for adult acne.
Is your skin dry? No. Okay. So, and I guess my other question too, do you know if it's hormonally induced?
It's like I had my teen acne that never went away, so I still have that acne.
Gotcha. So some of the same things that I would actually just recommend also for regular acne, I would still recommend. because I err more on the philosophy of you want to kill the things, but then you also want to heal it back. So one thing that I do believe a lot of people make a mistake when they have acne is they over exfoliate or they overstimulate, and it leaves the skin inflamed. And what the body's natural response is like, oh my goodness, like they stripped me of all these oils and they did all these things. Let me make double. And then it creates more acne and it creates more issues. So I would recommend like the mint scrub would be an amazing one because it's a manual scrub, but it is not abrasive. Like when I first used it, I actually was like, wait, where is my apricot pieces and why is like my skin not like, you know, because I was so used to over exfoliation. Whereas because that mint scrub is mixed also with the peppermint and the other things that is going to also give you not just manual exfoliation, but it's actually penetrating in and sloughing off that dead skin. It's not going to over irritate your skin, but it's still going to help address the acne. And then the oils that I mentioned, I mentioned like Melrose would be a really, really good one. I would keep on hand for that. Periodically, I would even do like if you have access to Aztec clay, like I get a big old jar of it and you can just mix it up and make yourself little clay masks. And if you find that for your skin, it's only in the certain areas, just put the clay in those little areas. You don't have to put it all over your face just because you're using it. Just make a little bit. And in the areas that you are having the acne, focus on those areas.
And in the gathering that we're going to do, just like this on the 19th, that's what we do. We do those Aztec clay masks together. And then, Hello, I think you had another question too.
Yes. So my mom usually wakes up with this baggy under eyes, and she's using, she has her own recipe for the oil. She uses a frankincense directly into one of her facial creams. So I know, Dana, before you mentioned that we're not supposed to put anything underneath the eyes. It has to be around the area of the eye. But in her case, can she use something underneath her eye for the bags that she usually gets in the mornings?
Yeah, so she can make like an eye mask type thing. So if she has her little oils and stuff like that, that would be a good thing. Maybe just put on a cotton round in place there to kind of bring that down and stuff. I know I've done in the past like green tea bags. I've done cucumbers. I don't think she would do that in the morning. I mean, if she has time to do that in the morning, she could do something like that in the morning too. But if the oils that she's using is working for her, I would just maybe, like I said, put it on the cotton rounds and place it there and leave it for a little bit so that it can get a little bit better absorption. But in general, yes, when you apply like your creams and stuff, you really want it on the orbital bone, just because you want to be super careful of that skin because it's super thin, and it can get into the eyes.
What about for dark circles?
Some of the same things, but the reality is dark circles are genetic. And so you can help to make the appearance of it not look as much, but it really is. And same with pore sizes. There's a lot of things that claim to eliminate pore sizes and claims to eliminate dark circles, but if your mama got dark circles, you're probably gonna have dark circles because a lot of that is genetics.
So the concealer will be the best option to cover. Okay, thank you.
All right, any other questions, guys? All right, if there's no other questions, we appreciate you guys all for hopping on here. Again, we will be back here on the 5th doing this once again, but talking about perfume. So that should be pretty fun. And for everyone that I do see on here that I know hopped on a little bit late, in about 30 minutes or so when this is uploaded to YouTube, I will send you so you can have the actual information of the details of the teaching portion of this. And everyone have an amazing evening and stay safe.
Thank you so much, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Always.